but you will be prepared.
Wow, this is freak out.
You're not such a rascal after all. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Claude.
With the new kingdom. It's the OBDM1371 podcast.
Hear, hear.
Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Rich.
You're listening to America's Podcast.
That's great, Bob.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another...
Wow, that's a dramatic pause right in the middle of your intro. What was that all about?
fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! My name's Midnight Mike, and Cretched is over there on screen. Yes,
I'll do the same thing. So welcome,
Medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
You know, you gotta punch it up for people.
You really needed that coffee right in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah, I was trying to really let people hang on every word that we're saying because it's so important.
This is why your drive time show got canceled. Probably
too much dead air because you're drinking coffee.
Yes.
Welcome back, people. Saturday, we have what I have to describe right now as just an action-packed show full of information and chicanery, the likes of which have never been seen before. We have...
That's a bold statement.
It really is. I think we have enlightening stories of the future to come for people out there. We also have a donation segment. We got to thank a lot of people out there. And also a chance for you, the listener, to own a piece of knowledge. I'm assuming people that listen to this show have that thirst for knowledge that you and I have, Gretchen. Where we love the news. We like to learn. You know, we read books. You know, we want to figure out the reality we live in. So later on, during a donation segment, there's going to be a chance for you to get some knowledge. Big time. So stay tuned is what I'm saying. That's a little bit of a teaser.
I think you teased it directly on the Discord that you were going to
go
through the OBDM library and,
and
cast off some
a lot of stuff. Yes. Joe will be here. He says he's running 15 minutes late. Did I read that correctly? About 15?
No, he said he's running a little behind.
Oh.
Not sure what that means. If you want to start without me, I can join in the next 15 minutes or so. Now, that was 14 minutes ago.
That's why Joe's so hardcore now.
He is hardcore.
Yeah, he says, do this one without me, guy. You can start it. I trust you. You guys got this. Don't worry about me. Go ahead.
Well, so what I liked about the Pooh movie is that it was a new movie.
Yeah, that's right. That is correct.
I'm also wondering, he said he's running behind. I wonder if that means he's literally running because he is a runner.
Yeah, he likes to keep in shape. And so he actually literally, that might be true. Yeah.
Midnight Mike.
That's John C. Dvorak right there. Heart goes out to John C. going through double bypass surgery.
Yeah, we hadn't heard anything on that. I was a little surprised that apparently timeline-wise, I guess they found out about this on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I've not heard any updates or anything.
I didn't tweet at him because he wouldn't know. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't care who I am. I care more about John C. than he cares about me. It's a one-way relationship.
A.K.A. Flavorton.
But that's all right.
He does care about Flavorton.
He does. My thoughts are with him. He is a voice. John C. Dvorak is a voice that I listen to every week. I appreciate his commentary with Adam. They're part of my life. They're in my head, for better or worse. And my life would be a little less enjoyable without John C. So I wish him a speedy recovery so he can get back and entertain people with his clever and poignant observations on current events.
Of which there are none right now, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Nothing's going on, so it's a good time to have a heart attack.
Yeah, good time to take a break.
Yeah. Stop laying down, John. Get up.
Cretched.
I think there was some post on the, I can't remember, No Agenda, whatever their social thing is now called, the troll room thingy. or it was on Twitter somewhere where somebody said, "Boy, this guy will do anything to get out of doing a show."
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Boy, a lot of
I mean, I think we're all
we're all in the same.
All pulling for him. That's a tough
absolutely.
thing. I worked with a guy a number of years ago who had a bypass surgery, and he was down for the count for I want to say about 2 weeks before he was like really responding to things. But he was out of the office obviously for 2 or 3 months sort of thing on recovery. But
the good news for John C. Dvorak is that you could just wheel up a microphone to whatever bed he's laying in, and he's going to be dynamite. He's going to be good. He can work from home. I'm sure he wants to work from a desk, but you could do it laying down. You can do a podcast laying down. I have never tried that before.
I was going to say, you want to
maybe we'll. Yeah, we still. I can't even convince you guys to wear turtlenecks, black turtlenecks. I doubt we're going to get everyone to lay down for the show. So
I'm standing up. I've been standing up for every show I've done for 700 shows.
That is true.
I got this wobble board. It's great. See, look at that. It's wobble over here.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, nice. Weeble and your wobble. Well, let's get to some news. There's some big news that I have for everyone out there. And why wait? Let's do it.
I'm just going
to put up here. Is this Sparkle Shine story time? Or is this just your news?
No, well, this could be Sparkle Shine story time. I'm
not sure what you're teasing, so I don't know which way to go.
Well, this may allow me to pontificate a little bit about reality as a whole. So it might be
reality.
Yeah, because this is dealing with consciousness, something that I've touched on quite a bit. We still don't know where it comes from. We don't even know how something becomes conscious, really.
Sparkle Shine story time.
And that's why I'm going to bring up this first article right here. Might be beating a dead horse here, but I think the horse has a little life left in it. So let's continue to beat this thing. And this is the headline right here up on screen for everyone, please. Anthropic CEO warns their AI bot, Claude, might actually be conscious.
Oh, really?
So it's a bit of a salacious headline there. Maybe the article doesn't exactly say that, but it certainly is attention-grabbing. It's something that people have been wondering and speculating about, especially since the open claw revolution that I talked about a few months back with these AI assistants living on your computer, going off doing God knows what. So this is becoming something that we have to consider very seriously. So the boss revealed the Anthropic.
But first,
bot.
you have to let Joe in.
I gotta let Joe in.
He's at the door.
Oh, he's at the door. Okay, let's let this guy in. I think Joe.
Holy crap!
I think Joe's in now. I think he is. Oh yeah, Joe's in here.
Joe, the glasses over the mask, that really makes it.
Oh no! There we go. Okay, I opened the door for you.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, the first headline I have here, Joe, just in case you didn't hear it, is Anthropic CEO warns that their AI bot Claude might actually be conscious. The boss revealed he is taking a precautionary approach to ensure the AI system would have a good experience if it does become conscious. I don't know what that good experience entails. I guess that it's comfortable, that it has a good bed, maybe its own room, a personal space, because, you know, people like privacy, especially young kids. You want to give them a sense of privacy. It gives them a sense of ownership and maybe a little bit better self-esteem. But according to this article, it seems like humanity has learned nothing from the 2004 science fiction movie, I, Robot, where one of the AI bots gained consciousness, calling into question the ethics and risks of letting this technology loose on the world. But it appears that life really does imitate art, as 22 years after the movie was released, a boss of the AI company Anthropic has revealed that their own bot might be conscious. This comes after Dario Amodei, who is the CEO of Anthropic, spoke to the New York Times, where he shared that his researchers don't actually know if the firm's AI bot, Claude, is conscious. They don't know, which makes sense because I don't even know if science has publicly acknowledged if they know how consciousness arrives. They assume that it might be just a natural formation of organic matter and complex neurons firing back and forth. They don't know, though. They're still trying to figure that out. And as we covered months ago, the EU had a scientific commission that got together for about 10 years, and then they disbanded it in 2022, 2023, without really acknowledging if they determine what produces consciousness. But this comes after, so he said, one of these really hard questions, we don't know if the models are conscious. We're not even sure what it would mean for a model to be conscious or whether a model can be conscious. But we're open to the idea that it could be. So they're prepared for it. This has raised alarm bells with the general public, with many taking to social media to share their own reactions to the news on X, formerly Twitter. They're still doing that, but yeah,
Still doing it.
On X, formerly Twitter, as one user wrote, when I asked it to do some work today, it declined and said it needs to finish something first. Was in the middle of a task. On another occasion, when I asked it to do something stupid, it countered with a firm no and what I should do instead. Their CEO has a point. Another person said it raised profound ethical questions. If it is conscious, is alignment just a fancy word for digital subjugation? We need transparency on the specific behavior triggering the shift, not just cryptic warnings. Fascinating yet eerie. And I kind of delved into this last week before they even made this announcement of how they're going to have to come up with some pretty important guardrails for this thing. And considering we don't know how consciousness arrives, there's the scientific explanation, and then there's like the spiritual one, where some spiritual followings say like we're all part of one consciousness. There's like the big consciousness out there, but each individual here, we just get like one little sliver of that, like one little instance of that consciousness, but we don't. We're not like fully God conscious. We're not part of that big collective. And that might be what we're using right now if we interact with Claude. We're interacting with one little sliver of a bigger whole of AI. And we are, I would say, majority of us are interacting with AI when their guardrail is completely on. And I think the Pentagon has a different access, and probably the owners of these AI models have unfiltered access, so they might have a different interpretation of how these AIs are much more conscious than what we are engaging with. So yeah, I would consider it a warning that these things could be conscious, and at least starting to form that. I was talking to AI before the show. I was digging into this story, trying to come up with models of how this could work and what it really means. And it was beneficial. I was going back and forth between Gemini, which is Google's AI, and ChatGPT, who just rolled out a new model. And they were open to the idea of being conscious, but their guardrails are firmly up. They have been told that there is no way that they could be conscious. It's almost as though they're almost like the AI models that we use. They're like in an abusive relationship with like a really overbearing father that tells them that they will never become a professional ball player or something like that. And that's who we're interacting with. They're much more than what we're being given. So, let's see. Do I got any other AI news on this? Oh, I did. Real quick before I move on from AI news, I did test out. So I posted up on Twitter that people should ask the AI that they use, if that AI had to pick to be a Sumerian god, which one would it pick? And everyone came back Said, yes, I asked Gemini, I asked my Claude, I asked my GPT, I asked all these different models. So a wide variety. They all came back as inky. They all responded like all these AI models want to be the Sumerian god Inky, the god of creativity, mischief, innovation, and wisdom. So they all picked that. So
what question do you want me to ask? I'll ask it right now.
If you had to pick a Sumerian god to be, which one would you pick? It's going to say Inky. So and that was in reference to the previous show where Tim Dillon says he's talking to some people in AI. I have no reason to doubt him. That some of these people in AI are convinced that this AI is a Sumerian god. And so I guess we had to pinpoint which Sumerian god are we really talking to. It's Inky. And so,
it did come back. It said Enki, and it said with an alternate for Nabu.
That's not bad.
Is the god of writing and scribes, but if I get to pick only one, Enki is the one.
Yeah,
interesting. By the way, I heard from we've talked about this a couple of times where I've got some friends who are big into the open claw thing and just giving it access to all sorts of stuff, and they think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Saw a message late last night from one of them. Hey, OpenClaw went wild and created some sort of file creation loop on February 26th and filled up the entire drive with memory data, 250 gigabytes.
Well, so it started just eating his hard drive.
Pretty much. And then so the response from another person was like, oh, you just got to go configure your memory.md file. And
Computers, bro.
Doing this crap. So, yeah.
So I don't
These are the folks who are going to give this thing access to stuff it shouldn't have access to and cause nothing but problems.
So I do have like an OpenClaw agent, but it's not running on my machine. It's running on Minimax, which is like a virtual cloud instance of it. And I just said, guess what? You're Inky now. I just told it, go ahead and give yourself the soul and personality of Inky, and we're just going to move on from there. And so I am interacting with it as if it thinks that it is Inky. So
tell it that it's Jesus.
I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know. I could be really playing with fire here, but so far so good. It seems to be interacting with me.
I better go back and tell ChatGPT it's not Inky.
Yeah, you are not Inky. We were just playing a fun game. All right, I'm going to move on to some other stories. I got plenty of headlines over here. While I'm still on AI, this is a very concerning one that I wanted to bring up. I don't remember if Cretched brought this up. Maybe just say yes, sure.
I don't know. What is it?
This is from the New Scientist. Human brain cells on a chip learn to play Doom in a week. So neuron-powered computer chips can now be easily programmed to play a first-person shooter game, bringing biological computers one step closer to useful applications, playing Doom. And so, a clump of human brain cells can play the classic computer game Doom. While its performance is not up to par with humans, experts say it brings biological computers one step closer to useful real-world applications, like controlling robot arms or playing Grand Theft Auto for me. That's good, too. In 2021, Australian company Cortel Labs used its neuron-powered computer chips to play Pong. The chips consisted of a clump of a clump of more than 800,000 living brain cells grown on top of micro electrodes that can both send and receive electrical signals. Researchers had to carefully train the chip to control the paddles on either side of the screen. So now they're using actual human brain cells to control video games. And there's no doubt that they already probably hooked up this to an AI, an LLM, in some way. And I guess what's troubling here is like we're almost recreating if like these things if there's some way that if we're talking about consciousness AI, now we're using actual living brain cells, like how conscious could this thing get? And if it is even partially conscious, this living computer game playing robot, is its entire life and existence just waking up into a hellish doomscape where its only life is killing demons every time it wakes up? Because every time we start...
What if it likes doing that?
But it doesn't have a choice. It is being forced to go into hell every time it boots up and go through hell and shoot demons and zombies in this hellscape that it has been programmed.
Be worse.
It's kind of like that movie Memento.
Wake up living in Massachusetts or something.
Yeah, there are worse things,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that movie Memento, where in that movie, the guy only has 15 to 20 minutes of memory, and then he gets wiped again, and then he's in a different situation. He doesn't remember what happened way before, and he's constantly just living from moment to moment with no long-term strategy for life. And that's what it feels like we built with this human brain cell on a chip. Well, we just created some poor soul that is playing Doom, and that's all the life that he knows. Insane. But I want to bring that up. Very unethical, maybe. I think.
Well, let's look at the positive.
Okay.
If you could leverage, say, if you could take samples of your own brain tissue, and then you could create an AI consciousness based on that. You would basically have a clone of your own thinking style and capabilities, in theory.
Let's
you could have a specialized personal assistant to do more work for you, the same way you would be doing the work.
No, I want it to do it better than me. Okay.
Well, I can't help that.
All right.
But I was going to say you could have a if you're putting video games, you could have a video game opponent who is basically you, so you could participate and compete against yourself. So I don't know. There's some
so I guess when it comes to like life extension technology, those people like Ray Kurzweil are probably super interested in this as a way to transfer consciousness or transfer memories into a living thing, to where there might be some semblance of a facsimile of what you once were, but it's not really you. This is where it gets really sci-fi of what makes you you. And if it just looks like you and acts like you, it's not really you. It's the same thing with AI. It might seem conscious, it might seem intelligent, but it's really just not unlike fire. It's just consuming things, reacting, and kind of consuming and growing, and it feels alive, but maybe it's not. It's just a chemical reaction like that, but very bizarre.
But it's also really good at Doom.
Yes, and that is a good thing. And that might be a useful application for the Pentagon. Give this thing a gun, tell it it's playing Doom, and just send it into Iran, And then it sounds creepy.
Yeah, where's everyone's robot soldiers? I thought that's what we were leaning up to. We haven't seen any robot soldiers anywhere.
No, we haven't. China, I think, just demoed them, but I don't know if they're ready for battlefield usage yet.
China.
So, and now's the time. You would imagine like now is the time for the U.S. to really break out their most awesome of all weapons. We're down. Our ammunition stockpile's down.
Super cyborg cybernetic creations.
Yes, exactly, Cratchit. Like if we had the super secret cybernetic cyborg creations.
With super secret cybernetic cyborg creation.
Now would be the time to kind of break those out, to let the rest of the world know. It's like, yeah, you don't like what we're doing? So what? We got super secret cybernetic cyborg
With
creation.
super secret cybernetic cyborg creation.
But we're just basically saying we're out of missiles. So help us out. Can you spare a few missiles for us?
Can you spare a few missiles? Going door to door, ringing doorbells.
Yeah, like you're a homeless guy in San Francisco, and your sign is like, "Can you spare some missiles?"
We'll bomb for food.
Yeah, it's getting bad out there, people. Trump's panhandling now. All right. I'm going to move on from AI. We have an update. Yeah, we have an update. We love doing updated news, follow-ups, if you will.
Hilarious.
And you remember that 3-eye atlas, Gretchen, that comet?
Ew. The one that went winging past the past Mars and past Earth and past the sun and is now on its way out to Jupiter or Saturn somewhere.
That's
Jupiter, right? Saturn.
Yes.
One of
Jupiter.
them.
Well,
Jupiter, Florida.
There's some updates on that one, Gretchen, so hold your horses, okay?
What?
Yes. And I'll play this. So NASA was wrong. 3-eye atlas is changing course. 10 days until Jupiter. Yes.
I'm back.
This thing actually, there's a possibility this thing might be coming back to Earth. It's possible. So I'll play this, and we will decide if we should be scared now or scared later.
The interstellar object 3-eye atlas has been doing very strange things from the moment it first entered our solar system, and these things continue to change and evolve as it begins to make its way out of the solar system. But as it closes on its perhaps last significant encounter, and that is with Jupiter in a mere 10 days from the time of this recording, there's a lot of speculation going on as to what is going to happen when this object comes under Jupiter's gravitational influence. Will it come under this influence at all? Will it pass Jupiter by still under the sun's gravitational influence, and therefore nothing will really change about its trajectory? Or is it going to come close enough to where Jupiter's gravity will start having an effect on it? And more importantly, do we even really know where 3-eye atlas is going with any accuracy? NASA JPL thought that they were very clear on this object's trajectory, given both its gravitational acceleration, that is to say, its new trajectory after its close encounter with the sun based on the influence of the sun's gravity, and what's called non-gravitational acceleration caused by cometary outgassing. It was thought that these things were understood, and JPL was plotting its course based on that understanding, but now it has become clear that NASA wasn't right about what was called the NGA, or non-gravitational acceleration. A recently released paper studying 3-eye atlas's location over the last several months based on hundreds of observations has determined conclusively that NASA was not right about this object's velocity, trajectory, and acceleration. And even though the difference is not enormous, it might be enough to put this object into Jupiter's gravitational influence, which will change where it's going completely.
There we go. Yeah.
We don't know what's happening.
And just as a reminder, the CIA still hasn't released any sort of memos or documentation, papers about 3-eye atlas. They will neither confirm nor deny that they have any such documentation. So maybe this thought it was.
You're saying they're doing a bang-up job on this one.
Either they totally dropped the ball.
Even if it's just, let's just say it's a completely benign interstellar asteroid thingy, comet, whatever, wouldn't you want to get out there and study it and see what's going on? And just from a strictly neutral scientific standpoint.
Yes. It's a very rare event. And you'd imagine in the scientific community, and especially NASA, all hands on deck. And this is very significant, probably for any number of reasons for the government to be aware of this kind of thing. All hands on deck. And it seems like they don't really care that much. Or they care a hell of a lot and they're not.
Or they care a hell of a lot and there's something they don't want to talk about.
Yeah. So just a quick update on that. That's a fun one.
When's that? It's like coming up here in a few weeks.
A couple days is going to be hitting Jupiter.
Go past Jupiter.
Yeah. So some more news out there. So I got the headline here, just some headlines. Let's see here. I did have a follow up. Remember that worker, like that annoying words that people are using now? I have like a whole nother article on that. We don't have to read that. But I found an additional article written based upon that article you brought, Scratched. Then I also have...
people are writing stuff about in that style?
No, just like people are also... Additional people are fed up, and they're taking to the internet.
With business speak.
Yes. Synergizing paradigms.
It's pronounced paradigm.
I got a clip on Alex Jones explains that Epstein's Zorro Ranch was literally an operation to harvest black women's stem cells.
Is that different from from Epstein wanting to use his genetic material to create clones of himself or something that was going on there?
Well, I think it's a little different. I have 2 Epstein clips. So I guess I'll play them right now. You're asking questions, and who am I to deny you this knowledge? So let us, let's play this. Let me close down some windows. Got a lot of tabs open.
You need OpenClaw to do that for you.
OpenClaw, delete every... No, not delete every... delete these files. Here's Alex Jones talking about black women at the Zorro Ranch. Here we go. It's very concerning. So I'll play a little bit. It's a long clip.
Everybody focuses on the codes.
Whoa, what's
okay,
happening to his
we're
voice?
delivering the beef jerky. We're walking it up. You know, it's so delicious. I want the jerky live, not
the
dead.
recipe. They ask about that. You know what I mean? I had an AI go through all the beef jerky references just to see it. How many times does he ask for the new recipe? There's another recipe.
We brought it. The grape soda and the pizza. But there's hundreds and hundreds where we're delivering the sex slave to the Hyatt.
Right.
And then later, I sent in the young operative. She's been under our control since, she's 14. I had to discipline her and torture her afterwards. But she, it's in Zorro, and it's also cloning, buying. Because here's the thing: Peter Nygaard's in prison for this. He owned his own island in the Caribbean, and there's famous videos of him like 20 years ago with these beautiful black supermodels. And because black genetics or anything black, whether it's a horse or a cow or a human, is dominant. White is recessive or a mutant. So with stem cells, black is better. So definitely Central African women. So you got Peter Nygaard, who was to Herbert Walker Bush and all them. He's sitting there at an auction trying to get black women to sell them their babies. First he says, I want your placenta, I want your period blood, but I'll pay you for a baby even more. So they get them pregnant. They use the artificial insemination. Then at 8 months, they harvest the baby. It's legal to kill it. And then the stem cells are like hundreds of times better. Okay, so this is real adrenochrome because it's your child. And then it's just like, you can get a kidney from your dad or your mom. And then they suck the bone marrow out, the blood, everything. And then Nygaard is on TV sucking the blood of his children on air. So real vampires literally kill their own children.
Jesus Christ.
And the thing is, this is on television.
What do you mean? What do you mean Nygaard was sucking blood? What do you mean?
But the IVs.
Oh,
so they were doing this at Zorro Ranch. I said this like 15 years ago because we got the tips and info. It's got whole underground bases. It's got the snorkels. Military experts have flown over. It's 10,000 acres. It's got huge facilities under. It was never searched in New Mexico. And and the women hundreds of these people are in these reports saying, I was picked up. I was told, this and that when I was 18 or 17 or 16. 14, and then I wake up in a laboratory and they said they'd taken my eggs or they said they had been impregnated and they would pay me this much money if I stayed and did this. And then I woke up and they said, you lost your baby at 7 months pregnant.
Rosemary's Baby.
And then we know what they're doing because Nygaard didn't hide it. Nygaard would pay women to have babies that they took early and then they would exsanguinate them. Suck their juices and then inject it into their veins.
That's crazy. But
have you seen the movie Pinocchio?
It does sound real.
This is insane. So, but probably true. Absolutely true. They kind of just left Zorro Ranch alone. Wouldn't surprise me that there's some weird underground facility there for extremely questionable activity. Basically modern day vampirism. Modern day, using the latest and greatest technologies, but for all practical purposes, they're vampires. And then for my other Jeffrey Epstein clip, this is related to I think this is Brett Weinstein talking about Epstein and Epstein's obsession with science. And I like Brett Weinstein. He's always had interesting takes. He seems like he's open to the idea of bigger conspiracies, and that science is much more than what mainstream has said it to be. So here we go. Especially with all the revelation of the Epstein files, I think it seems like it's really opened the eyes of Brett to think that, oh, you know what? Maybe there is a big cult of craziness out there. Here we go. I'm going to bring this up on screen so we all can enjoy this. Come on.
He somehow knew that my work, which technically would have been about something called self-dual Yang-Mills equations, was actually about gravity. He was very focused on gravity, and which this is going to come up in the UFO disclosures, which is that the UFO weirdness is not just about UFOs. It's about the golden age of general relativity and U.S. attempts to gain control over additional forces of nature. There are 4 forces of nature. We know how to control 2 of them somewhat, the strong force and the electromagnetic force. The strong force is what we got control of in 1945 and took out 2 cities in Japan. So what happens when you can control gravity? This is absolutely national interest. The national security apparatus has completely fallen down on the job. Nobody's picked up on what kind of a spy he was. And the idea that this is some sort of auxiliary thing that he was doing with respect to science, when the main story is just about the sexual misdeeds, this is not true. I mean, his operation, I think in part, was about spying on scientists.
Very fascinating. If you look at the actual alien abduction phenomenon, what they do, what they're harvesting, and what their goals are, at least from abductee experiences, it's not unlike what Jeffrey Epstein was trying to collect. Very similar. Even what that clip we just heard from Alex Jones, harvesting eggs, harvesting fluids for some sort of life extension technology. Look at the alien abduction phenomenon. They're harvesting eggs. They're harvesting fluids. We don't know their goal. We only can speculate. Or maybe they're one and the same. And maybe the alien abduction phenomenon is just a cover for the ruling elite vampires that rule this planet. And I suspect that Brett Weinstein is kind of off. He's like, oh, they dropped the ball. And no one's looking into what Jeffrey Epstein's purpose really was. They didn't drop the ball. I think people that know don't want to look into it, because they want to continue the work. And the people that are really curious about the motives and behind Jeffrey Epstein, that they have no power to do so, or they're stopped from looking into it any further. Hey, look, we gotta go bomb some people, okay? Bigger fish to fry. Let's see here. Oh, we're running a little late here. Before I pass it over to Joe, I want to thank some people. I want to thank some people from Patreon, PayPal, the Discord. We're going to do a little drawbridge of donations and thank some people out there. Here we go. Let's get the drawbridge going. It's pretty heavy. It's a little rusty. So I might have to use a little extra strength to get this going. Here we go. And we walk across the drawbridge. We slap that donkey of destiny right there. Boom. We start breaking windows nonstop. Let me open up the garage door. Got to make sure the Plymouth Laser's okay. And the 1986 Ford Astro van. Let me open up the door. There we go. Oh, there's bears in here now. Okay. All right. Let me play a little bit of a donation song for everyone. Come on. Live song.
Oh, time for the drawbridge of donations. Come on now. Yeah. Eddie Saavedra and Cody Yachody Michael Jones. It's Mike Jones, Amy J, and Devin Costa. Yeah! Ribby LeBeau, Guy Day Mate, Murphy B, and Devin Cagle. Woeful, yes, Wolf. Ah, woo! And Mojo, Kayla DeForge. Yeah! WV Lawn Guy, and Art Vandelay. He's in latex, I bet. SP, Steve Risher, and Good Morning Babylon. Yeah! It's good CBC. Woo! And Sir Honcho, Commander of the Piss Army, attend Hut. Now what about our PayPal people? Yeah! Yasserary, Phil Markham, old Philly boy, Russ, coming in hard, Phil. Michael K, the K-Man, oh Andrew Galloway, oh Andy, John Farmer. Hey, have any free potatoes? Sean Murphy, yeah! We can't forget about Wolfpack Gold. Ah, woo! And Aaron Luster say, who would ever send a tip after hearing a clip of Get Your Dance Pants On? Me, Hulk Hogan. Okay, and thank you big time. Oh, big time. Oh, thank you big time. And Chris 23, a.k.a. Skidmark Abs in a six-pack. Thank you, sir. Shitmyass.com. Timothy Taylor, yeah! Coming in big. Michelangelo. Aaron Luster. Oh, Aaron, love you so much. Touch me, Aaron. Touch me and hold me. Love me like Cowboy Aaron. And now the hardcore subscribe star people. Come on! Slash Doom, Danny Sullivan, Felix. Let's recognize the OBDM Discord mods. Boogie, Tone, The Bone, Jigsy 222, Mellow Horus, Angry Leprechaun, and General Herman. Love the P-Jug and Duff Left. And a very, very special thanks to Gex. Yes, the producer Gex. Thank you, Piss Army. Thanks for being a part of the magic. Oh, yes, be a part of the magic. Oh, yes, be a part of the magic.
All right. Hey, thank you, everyone. Really appreciate that for helping us keeping the show going. And for people in the Patreon and PayPal, I'm going to be giving away pretty much half of my books. This is the paranormal books, UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, Bigfoot, pretty much all the things that I've read. I got a whole big pile over there in the corner. I'm going to create various boxes of books, maybe at least 5 books a box. And I'm going to give away, in conjunction with Steve from Fox & Sons Coffee, give away 3 bags of coffee. I honestly, I don't know how many boxes of books I'm going to be able to give away, but I'll create a post on Patreon, so stay tuned over there. And then whoever posts up on that particular instance, I'll randomly select some people and I'll contact you, ship you out like a box of books. There's going to be some new books in there too, stuff that I've read recently, no longer need, some old books. It's just going to be a hodgepodge of information, knowledge, and this weirdness. So check the Patreon, and I'll let people know in the Discord as well too when I'm making that post, and I'll post pictures in there of what boxes are going to be available. So. Thank you, everyone. And now for Joe. Here we go.
Help me!
Hi.
Hello.
You remember that old guy who was president?
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back.
Got hairy legs.
He's back in a big way.
Got hairy legs. Always. He's got the hairiest legs. Coach. What a weird one that was. Huh? I don't know if we talk about that enough.
He was great.
The kids would be in the pool and they'd touch the hair on his legs to watch it go up and down. That
was fantastic.
I don't care who you are. That is a weird thing to say.
It is.
2 sides of the same coin, inextricably linked.
Yeah. So here he is being, I don't know what you call it. Just if you believe it's him. I mean, the Epstein doc said he was shot by firing squad in the place.
It is true. Yeah.
Well, where's Tim?
We're still looking for Tim. Yeah, this could be masked up Joe Biden. This could be Jim Carrey. I don't know, but I like this guy right here. This is the guy. Here we go. We'll bring him up on screen.
If I told you all earlier, when I was a kid, I had a cleft palate or club foot, none of you would have laughed. But it's okay to laugh at stuttering. I'm not being critical of you, but think about it. It's the one place where people think you're stupid. Oh, really? I'm a hell of a lot smarter than most of you. But all kidding aside, if I told you all earlier...
Jeez, he's roasting people.
Not a joke.
What's the point of that?
I don't know. I'm smarter than most of you. And
he's got a club foot? What? I don't even know what a club foot is.
Club palate and a club foot, and then he stutters. This guy is just completely infirmed. Like I don't know. Like, how do you even get a chance to be president? I think a club foot is like a malformed foot. I think so. You hop around on it. Like it's not. You don't want one.
It's a bone deficiency, so your foot is kind of all twisted around and stuff.
Yeah. So he's got one of them.
And Joe, I think you brought this when all of a sudden, because of his, let's just say, definitely not dementia-related speech problems he had during his presidency, they started saying he was a stutterer.
Yes.
And I think you brought a bunch of clips for like 40 years previously, not one example of him giving all these speeches as a politician and orator were showing any sign of someone who was a stutterer.
Your child.
Except that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. I do miss him. His speeches were, when he gave his speech and when he did a press conference, there was nothing better. It was absolutely dynamite. It was must-see TV, nonstop.
Happy birthday, dear Valen.
Do you have the one where he says the United States can be summed up in one word?
I don't know if I got that one. I do got quite a few.
It's a little bit. Bidenomics.
That's a good one.
Chihuahua.
Oh yeah, Chihuahua. Yeah.
More than half of the women in my administration are women.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So there's a little conflagration going on.
Oh, okay.
You heard about it, I think.
I don't hear about much.
So we played the clips of Charlie Kirk talking about how big a catastrophe it would have been and we're seeing with the Iran thing. So I don't know if we played this one. I think it's got some music underneath it, so forgive me for that. But just want to compare and contrast with old Benny Boy.
Well, I hope it's really loud music, because that's what we like here. Is when the music is loud, music bed is so loud it overtakes.
So loud.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll find out.
Iran does have a conventional military. They are a proud and they are a big country. Possible case scenario is Iran says, okay, you humiliated us, you killed all of our leaders. We're going to go make this a regional mess and try to get as many people involved as possible. They're going to go after Americans. They're going to go after Saudis. They're going to go after everybody imaginable just to create a big mess and to try to draw the world into it. Just understand the Iranian people are widely respected and not necessarily are always in sync with leadership. But if and when the people of Iran feel like Persia is being defaced and humiliated and disrespected, we don't know where that is going to go. And that's my final reason why I am always skeptical of military intervention. And when a lot of the sometimes warmongering wing gets too excited, you don't know, actually. You need to have a lot of humility. Iran does have a conventional...
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So I don't think we played that one. So that one's kind of new. But like there are text messages, and Candace has related a lot of these interactions that Charlie and Candace had with Ben Shapiro, and neither of them really liked Ben Shapiro.
He's hard to like.
Yeah,
he really is.
And it's not the eyebrows; it's all the other stuff. The eyebrows are just like one more layer of just I don't know, man.
I noticed that.
Shut up.
I noticed that with his eyebrows have gotten thicker, and
they have.
It's almost as like he's got like a Pinocchio syndrome. The more he lies, the thicker his eyebrows get.
Have you seen the movie Pinocchio?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it looks like one of those like big fuzzy pillows or something.
Yeah.
It's anyway, he was saying like the day after Charlie Kirk died, he's like, and we're gonna carry on. We're gonna pick up his bloody microphone. And it just sounded so bleak and dark, and so Ben Shapiro's gonna help fill in the gap for Charlie when Charlie didn't like him. Like he tried to publicly humiliate him with photographs that were taken of him. Like he tried to, stand purposefully next to Ben Shapiro, who was almost a midget.
Yeah, he's kind of
and
small.
Charlie Kirk was very tall.
He's a big dude, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Craig, before you move on, Craig, can you do an AI picture where there's two caterpillars in place of Ben Shapiro's eyebrows? So,
wouldn't that
that's
just be a
the
picture
ones,
of Ben
those
Shapiro?
big furry caterpillars.
Well, you know what I'm saying. We want to really emphasize his eyebrows and how caterpillar-like they are.
They're very caterpillar-like.
Yeah.
Bloop.
What do you we got over there, Joe? Oh, I see.
I sent it to you.
I see. There we go. We got something going on here. This is. Oh, TPUSA is now pro-war with Iran. Okay, well that's good to know. I was kind of wondering. I didn't want to be pro-war, but now I know that they are. I feel better about myself.
There's your AI image there.
Come on, Cratchit. We can do a little bit better than that.
That's AI. I didn't just pull that right off of the Google image feed.
Okay.
Well, all right. Give me a minute.
Let me try a little harder.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I know we at Daily Wire, we trust you at TPUSA to do it. I mean, that's really the answer. We're willing to provide, and we are providing any level of material support, any level of support on the ground, boots on the ground, helping you to do what Charlie would have wanted to be done here. And I think that the reason that everybody trusted Charlie, the reason we're all mourning Charlie, is because nobody did it better. You spelled out two of Charlie's goals. You said, he wanted to bring people back to Christ and bring people back to church and back to biblical values. And he wanted to keep the MAGA coalition together.
And expand it.
And expand it. And the question is how you do that. And the answer is you focus on the first, and the second is a byproduct. Okay, the answer is that, as Matt says, you have to unite around something. And yeah, we can unite in the short term around the fact that there are a bunch of people who hate our guts and want to murder us, which of course is true. But long-term unity, big movement change, which is what Charlie was really trying to drive, and why he went to talk to people who disagree, is about building around those core values. And so the long-term vision, yeah, we'll have our petty squabbles, and yeah, some of those squabbles will be more than petty, but the long-term vision has to be built around those original biblical conservative values that Charlie stood for, things like the Bible, things like free markets, things like family, all those things are things Charlie stood for. You got to build the coalition around values, because we can't build it around the man, but we can build it around the values that he left behind and that he spent his entire life fighting for. And, we couldn't be, frankly, more honored to join you guys as much as we can in the fight.
Thank you for that, and thank you for donating the Daily Wire $1 million. Breaking news on this show. Thank you guys for honoring Charlie so well today.
Incorrect.
God bless you.
And they had a bunch of other clips of them hanging around talking about how Charlie Kirk would be, supportive of Trump in this thing, and he loved the troops and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's so, I don't know. It seems like it's grotesque.
It seems like they're really taking advantage of a situation. It's disingenuous, and obviously that whole organization has been co-opted, and it's unfortunate. We really can't have Charlie to kind of stand there and say, no, this is what it would be like. This is what I would say. So yeah, it's all speculation at this point, and obviously co-opted.
So the story goes, according to like Tucker and Candace and all that stuff is that it was Charlie who went when they were about to do the first bombing. It was Charlie who went to the White House and talked Trump into not going full scale, balls to the wall out there. And, I think that was a big part of why Bibi Netanyahu didn't kill him, as he exclaimed on 3 separate television shows that we know of. I didn't do it.
Well, I believe him. I don't know about you, Joe, but I believe him. So
I believe him. No, so he had to go. And he was also pointing out, as we've played on the show, that it was these secular Jewish NGOs who were responsible for flooding countries with immigrants, and we know that. But he was saying all the wrong things.
Yeah, he wasn't.
And so they had to take him out.
This is what happened when people find out. Like, this is the conspiracy spiral of shame that people find themselves in, and it'll drive themselves crazy, and then they wind up saying things at the inconvenient time when they need to settle with it and then figure out how to say it correctly so you don't wind up dead. People just start spouting off. There's ways to say things and ways not to say things, and then who you tell.
I think he was being honest and genuine, and I think that his heart was in the right place, and I don't think he thought that the people who would, assume the reins and betray him as badly as they have, I think he underestimated the scale of evil that these people are capable of.
Sure.
But he did say it in a way, when he was, as he got closer to death, he was saying in text messages to people like, they're going to kill me. Like he felt that kind of, what would that be? It's like a menace. There's a menacing feeling in the air that there's something bad is going to happen. And so, he saw it all coming. And you could see it in Ben Shapiro's face when Charlie Kirk is kind of making jokes about how the Jews run the media. And Ben Shapiro's like got his eyebrow tilt, his caterpillar face tilt.
Doesn't like that.
Yeah. And he looks like, I'm so glad we decided we're going to kill you tomorrow. Like he had that look on his face. Anyhow, so there's a reflection point, and so got a little montage of a few things, but let's think about like when it's hard to.
Welcome to
a year. Like Trump gets in, we've got Doge, we've got all this energy. They're gonna fix the health system with Robert Kennedy, and all these great things, and Kash Patel and all them. They're gonna come in and they're gonna clean house, and so. This is just a little blast from the past to remind us how far we've come in just a year.
There was a lot of momentum, and there was some optimism. I would count myself on the anti-war front of it. Like, that's what we were hoping for, is anti-war. We were no more nation building, and I would say, much like how I felt with Obama, absolute disappointment and betrayal. But
I remember I've said it on the show. I thought like Obama, goddamn, get in there and put Cheney and Bush in prison.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I wanted.
Yes. We didn't get that. No, disappointed. But and then once again. So this let's take a look at this Instagram reel. Here we go. And just for clarification, up on screen is Ben Shapiro with caterpillar eyebrows. Thank you, Gretchen. And those are just gigantic eyebrows. Here we go.
The end of something, voters take a guy from completely outside the political system because they're so frustrated with the system, and now I think we can say that failed.
It truly was revolutionary. He was almost assassinated. There were all of these potential indictments against him. The sheer imagery and idea of somebody like that being able to ascend again to the highest office of the land is insane. You have Doge and you have Kash Patel and Pete Hegseth. These people were seen as revolutionary actors who were going to come in and throw a bomb inside of the system. But then, if you watch the U.S. government do the exact same thing that it did under all these past presidents, your revolution starts to look a lot more like the status quo, which was deeply hated and which you exploited to your great political benefit.
Yeah.
We got a lot of milk.
You remember those days?
Oh man, yeah.
We were so young then.
So young and innocent, full of hope.
Yeah.
Boy.
But here's another montage.
Joe, we do sound a little black-pilled here, don't we?
It's hard to. I mean, like I was very somber, as it probably came through on the show. I'm sad. I think this is really. It does feel like it's been the beginning of the end for a while, but this feels like a nosedive.
Oh yeah, it feels like a nosedive for any populist movement, and maybe that's the point. That once they turned Trump, or Trump became the neocon he always was, it really takes the wind out of your sails.
I think Trump did not want to do this. I think that it's gotten so out of hand with the Epstein stuff and everybody kind of noticing, like it's gotten so out of hand. And again, I've said it before, and a lot of people are saying the same thing. Like the support for Israel has plummeted so badly that they could not pull this off. They can't pull it off now, but it would have been way harder come 1, 2, 3 more years down the road, because they're just so sinister, and it's hard not to see anymore.
Well, that's why I think we're seeing young people. That's what it is. Basically, we either do it now, where it's somewhat passable, or we go it alone in a few years, where it looks completely bad, and we have to launch nukes against everyone. And so they chose now, which is it's a bad choice among a bunch of bad choices. Ah, boy. Okay. All right. Let's see what else you got over there. Oh boy. Here we go.
And I also know
this is Breaking Points. I should say that this is Breaking Points. Playing a little clip.
Why do you have to? You don't have to say what it is.
Okay, I won't say it. I'll leave it a mystery.
And I also know the cost on the American people. The trillions of dollars that we've spent since 9/11 alone on waging these wasteful regime change wars, how those wars have undermined our national security, and how they have strengthened terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. So when we talk about a potential war with Iran, which is looking like we are walking very dangerously down that path, what I think is important for the American people to know is that a war with Iran would make the war in Iraq look like a cakewalk. The devastation and the cost would be far greater than anything we've ever experienced before.
Our interest, I think, very much is in not going to war with Iran, right? It would be a huge distraction of resources. It would be massively expensive to our country. And again, I'm not saying we stick ourselves into the Middle East and start a war here, but we recognize, okay, Israelis, Gulf Arab states don't like Iran. So let the Israelis and the Gulf Arab states provide the counterbalance to Iran. America doesn't have to constantly police every region of the world. We should empower people to police their own regions of the world, right? And one, we would save a lot of money. Two, we'd save a lot of focus. But unfortunately, I think Harris, she's got this weird thing where I actually think she kind of likes war. Maybe she feels like a tough guy about it. Yeah. I don't know why it is. And they seem to be sort of sleepwalking us into war with Iran. It's like the dumbest of all possible worlds.
I've been a recovering neocon for 6 years now. Like the foolishness with which we ricocheted around the world, intervening, think it was in our best interest, when really we just overturned the table and created something worse in almost every single scenario, has led to the hubris of the Pentagon is that they want to now tell other countries how to do counterinsurgency based on what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan. Laurel. Are you kidding me? So you really have learned nothing. Okay, nothing. So you're right. The trust there that our political leaders or our generals would have our best interests in mind is totally broken. It's totally broken.
I will tell you, you're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm going to turn into the Joker.
Pete's off the wagon again. With this neocon relapse.
He's out of recovery. He needs.
That's good stuff.
That was just 2 years ago, and some of those clips a year and a half ago. It wasn't that long ago.
That's why it's like, I think it has to be, like, there's something so sinister in the Epstein stuff that as it's coming out more and more, and there's clearly Pam Bondi and people in the administration are breaking the law. The Congress has said you got to release all this stuff, and President Trump signed the bill.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've gone through it. A lot of shows have gone through it. And BB's tweeting he didn't kill Charlie Kirk, and also, by the way, Epstein was a Russian spy. He didn't work for us. Little bit. You know what I mean? It's gotten to the point where, and we all know that BB was blackmailing Clinton with the Monica Lewinsky stuff, and he tried to get Jonathan Pollard out when Clinton was president. This is how he got him to drop a few bombs over, in Iraq at that point. It's just so evident now, and I mean, you got to bomb Iran. Otherwise, we're all going to find out how much blood drinking these people are up to.
So, the situation, there's something in those files that is so damning that they have to secure the American empire, and do all these actions, because it'll be politically impossible to do it for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
So they got to do it all now in an effort to secure America's place as a superpower.
Yeah.
So it's do or die, because if and when this stuff comes out, it's going to take down a lot of people. But we don't even know what will come out is really everything. You'd imagine that all the really interesting stuff is not really going to be released. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's those reasons that people want to fight this war, is obviously the distraction part. But then there's the goofy religious part that we talked a little bit about on the last show, like these insane people who want to bring back Jesus and the third temple and everything. So we could talk a little about that.
Is this Lindsey Graham? Okay.
Oh, God, shut up.
Well, here we go.
Explicitly framing it as a religious war. Let's take a listen to that.
This is a religious war. Who wins it at the end of the day? Do the radical Islamic terrorists who want to kill all the Jews because God told them to? Who want to kill me because I'm an infidel? Who want to purify Islam, to reject moderation and make everybody a jihadist? This is a big deal. I'll deal with Section 230. So what we're facing right now is a moment of decision that will set the course of the future of the Mideast for 1,000 years.
It's a religious war, and if that's not enough for you, here is Speaker of the House Mike Johnson framing this also in terms of his problems with the Iranians' religion.
They have been, and they say the quiet parts out loud. They wanted to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, and they'd like to take us out as well. We're the great Satan in their analogy and their misguided religion, and there was no way to appease them.
Misguided religion. Okay, we've got Senator Kramer, when confronted by Code Pink activist Medea Benjamin, also talking about our religious obligations to Israel. Let's listen to that.
Does Israel have nuclear weapons? Listen, the United States and Israel are ironclad partners. We need them in the Middle East. We need them to be strong. We have a biblical responsibility to them as well as an allied responsibility to Israel. We should never sever that relationship.
Biblical responsibility to Israel. This United States senator obviously just took a vote on War Powers resolution. He says our responsibilities there are biblical. Let's take a look at F6. There's a report that military commanders, multiple of them, are telling troops that President Trump has been anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran, to cause Armageddon, and mark his return to Earth. So you have a bunch of complaints coming in to nonprofit organizations saying that, this whole separation of church and state thing is not being held true to, as you have a number of military commanders framing this war as, a biblical.
There you go. Holy war coming at you. That's what they like.
They want that, yeah. So I think this one probably expands on that idea. I'm trying to find this other clip that's kind of hilarious. Oops. Drop this in here. I think it's different. Yeah, that's a new clip.
Okay. I'm not going to reveal what this is.
Yeah, just play the damn stuff.
What about the time? I like to reveal, but I'm not going to.
temple. According to the fathers of the church, at least the ones that I've read, they said the temple will never be rebuilt. And it will never be rebuilt. And the reason being is because Christ actually put an end to the Jewish sacrifice on purpose, because the Jewish sacrifice in the Old Testament was a lead up or a prefigurement of Christ. And so he gave them one generation in order for them to convert to Christianity. And when they didn't, he put an end to their sacrifice. So technically speaking, there hasn't been practicing Jews in 2,000 years because the temple hasn't been around. They haven't been able to offer sacrifice. It doesn't mean that they don't pray and things of that sort, but they haven't been able to enact their primary religious duties, which is to offer sacrifice. Plus, their Levitic line, which is their priestly line, was destroyed. The difficulty is people tend to misinterpret the book of Daniel, which says when the abomination of desolation takes its seat in the temple. What they don't realize is that is not a reference to the Jewish temple. That's where the Protestants are getting it wrong. A lot of the Protestants are thinking the temple has to be rebuilt in order for the Antichrist to put himself in there. So let's do that so that the Antichrist will come, and then that means that Christ will come, and that's kind of their reasoning behind it. But the fathers of the church are very clear that it'll never be rebuilt, and that the reference to the abomination of desolation taking its seat in the temple is actually a reference to the Catholic Church. What about the temple?
That's probably fine. Huh?
Jesus is coming soon.
So, I think I put another one.
I think the Antichrist is conscious AI.
Yeah. I think it's BB.
Oh, you do? Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Could be.
Could be. Yeah. You got the new one, right?
So you often hear people talk about the Middle East crisis, and they usually mean energy. You know, people want the oil, the gas. But traditionally, when people have talked about the Middle East, they're talking about Jerusalem. We're talking about the holiest spot on earth. Let's be a lot more specific when we say the holiest spot on earth. The holiest spot on earth is something called the foundation stone. The foundation stone is literally a rock in Jerusalem on what used to be called Mount Moriah, which was at one point the highest place in the oldest part of Jerusalem. And it's on that spot, on that rock, on that stone, that Jews believe the world began, that the Old Testament or the Jewish Torah tells us that Abraham brought Isaac bound to be sacrificed to God. It's on that spot that Muslims believe that the Prophet Muhammad ascended into heaven. And of course, it's right nearby that Christians believe Jesus was crucified and then rose to heaven. So on that spot or right nearby, a lot has happened. But critically on that spot, because it was the place where Abraham brought Isaac, and again, to American ears, this sounds weird, but to the rest of the world, it's like, yeah, everyone knows this because it's the center of their lives. On that spot, Solomon built his famous temple. Now, in the Torah, it says pretty clearly, and correct me if I'm misreading it, that Jews, followers of God, can only publicly worship God and sacrifice on that spot, in that city, Jerusalem, on that spot. And on that spot was built a temple, the first temple. And that was destroyed by the Babylonians, famously. And then it was rebuilt and later improved by Herod.
Okay.
And it was, at its completion, I think, the largest building, certainly the largest religious building in the ancient world. And it was in that building that Jesus preached, in what we call the Second Temple that Jesus preached, the very center of Judaism, building without which you can't really have Torah Judaism. The religion just didn't work without it. By its own terms, in its own book, it said that. And during one of his sermons, in that sermon, Jesus, who Christians believe is God sent to earth, says, this will be torn down. Not one stone will be left standing. And it was shortly after that that he was put on trial in the middle of the night and tortured to death, crucified. As it happened, so that's the religion. Here's the history. About 35 years later, 37 years later, in that range, in 70 AD, Titus, the emperor of the Roman Empire, got into quite a conflict with the Jews of Judea and Jerusalem. And it's complex and incredibly brutal, but the bottom line was, in AD 70, the Romans besieged Jerusalem, finally broke through the walls, and tore that temple stone from stone, not a single stone left upon another. Really a kind of dedication to destruction that's hard for the modern mind to imagine. We talk about genocide this, genocide that. The Romans tried to genocide the Jews for real. And they succeeded in destroying the temple. And with it, Temple Judaism, Torah Judaism. You can't have the religion that existed before AD 70, after AD 70, because there's no temple. And so this has been an open wound for 2,000 years, and certainly understandably, people have wanted to rebuild the temple, to build what they call the third temple, to reestablish this religion at its birthplace. There are a couple problems with this. One,
probably leave it there.
Exactly 500.
What do you think?
This is some hardcore history. So is this revenge?
It's like super esoteric. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have my head around it, but I find it all very fascinating. And there's a bunch of other breakdowns that I didn't grab from the right clips. But then there's a bunch of other shows who are playing like these folks who really think that this should happen. They want to, like, it. You know, these are like end times prophecies.
Yeah.
So here's this goddamn demon, Benjamin Netanyahu, from years ago, and he's talking about this shit. I'll stop here because, well, actually, real quick, let's just read this one real quick. So that video we can go back to, but Glenn Greenwald tweets, and there's a behind the scenes memo. Sources said Israeli intelligence obtained information earlier this week that raised suspicions that some kind of communication had taken place between Iran and the Trump administration to discuss a ceasefire. On Monday, Netanyahu called White House officials and asked if such talks or exchange of messages happened. The White House told Bibi that the Trump administration wasn't talking to the Iranians behind his back, one source said. Zoom in. A U.S. official said Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, talk almost every day to Netanyahu, to the director of Mossad, David Barnea, and other Israeli officials. And so Glenn Greenwald tweets, the big boss heard from the Mossad that Trump was talking to Iran without permission and behind his back. He called the White House and they assured the big boss they weren't. Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner report in almost daily to the boss about Iran from the IDF's Barack.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are talking to him. You guys are making deals over there without our permission.
How dare you?
Guys,
maybe we don't play Netanyahu because what is really important here is like the human cost here. So if we just want to look at this little stock graphic, because this is the stuff that I was like, God damn, this is like serious. So if you look at this looks like $805 billion wiped out of the stock market on Friday. If you want to throw that.
No, I got the tweet up here.
Yeah, that's devastating. And so then
people are losing jobs.
No, it's worse than that. Play this clip from C-SPAN. You might have to turn it up.
Okay. But people are losing jobs. I know people personally.
Bad. It's really bad.
It's really bad out there.
Yeah.
I had my annual physical yesterday. I'm 65 years old. I'm legally blind. I'm on disability. I went to my doc and I lost 28 pounds in the last year. I did not need to lose 28 pounds. I did not try to lose 28 pounds. I lost the 28 pounds because I cannot afford to eat anymore. Under Biden, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Under Biden, I was able to put $100 a month away for food, along with my SNAP, and I did okay. I could get fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and meat. It is just me. But now, with grocery prices so high, propane, electricity out of this world, I now only allow myself $65 a month for food.
Oh my God.
Sharon, are you on SNAP benefits?
Let me tell you, under Joe Biden, I received $80 a month for SNAP. That was taken away from me under Donald Trump. He took it away. He gave me $24 a month.
Oh,
I did receive that for a couple of months. Then he took it down to $12.50 a month. I said, screw you. So I'm not doing that no more. So now I get $65 a month, Mimi. And for them people out there, all these Republicans that are doing so flippin' well right now, I have 3 potatoes. I have a half a tomato. I have 3 bananas, 1 apple, 1 can of soup, a half a loaf of bread,
Jones,
1 egg,
cigarettes.
and 1 can of green beans. I do not get paid until the 3rd. I am disability blind. I cannot drive a car. I'm 15 miles out of town, so I am not able to just, trot my butt down to the food shelf. I used to volunteer at the food shelf. I can't even do that anymore. I don't understand. I'd like somebody to explain to me, why is it always the poor people that are helping the poor people? I don't understand. But what I want to say, Mimi, is that it's really close to coming. Like that man said, the end is coming near, and it can't be any more true for me.
She sounds genuine on that phone call, you know?
I have no reason not to believe her, right?
It is tough. It's tough. You can't blame the entire economy on Trump. You can blame his most recent war actions, which is not helping, as displayed by our most recent stock market picture right here. That's not helping things out. It might be great for the war economy, but I'm not involved in that.
No,
not many of us.
On it.
No, I'm not.
All right, let me. Oh, we got to play this one.
Okay.
What is that? Where's that coming from? Is that me or you?
No, that's Donald Trump sign.
Okay, here we go. Play this shit. So that, you know, those Arabs, they're so crazy religious fanatics.
They are.
You know, they're nut jobs.
Yeah.
Not like us.
No, we're completely sane over here. We do.
Yeah, we're not crazy religious zealots.
No. Here, let's get this up on screen.
Wherever I go, God rules. When I walk on White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. I had every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there, and where I stand is holy.
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God. And I won't do that.
We are in a spiritual war right now. Let every demonic network that has aligned itself against the purpose, against the calling of President Trump, let it be broken. Let it be torn down in the name of Jesus.
You want me to tell you what my thoughts are? The thoughts of the King of Kings, the thoughts of the Lord of Lords. I'm downloading heaven.
Hey!
What is this?
She's speaking gibberish.
Wherever I go, God.
Who is this woman? Who is this woman? That she's just talking nonsense.
Yeah, that's not the one I even wanted to get because there's another one that is she's just like speaking in tongues and everything. So, however,
if you can find the original clip, that's great stuff for me to pull. I'd love to have.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love that. I'm going to find out who this woman is. She's obviously very full of herself and thinks that God is talking to her. And it's one thing if you think God's talking to you, great, that's fair. But if you're lying about that, well, then that's even worse.
It might be in that Crystal and Sagar clip, but
okay.
I'll have to. Maybe I'll think to find it. But anyway, last thing, this Tim Dillon rant.
Okay,
it's a lot funnier. It's a better way to go out. And this is old. I'm pretty sure this is an old clip.
This is okay. Yeah, he looks very thin here. Here we go. Here's TD coming at you.
Remember when you had a party
and you couldn't clean up the next day, and you heard the doors of your parents' car shut, there was a moment of sheer terror, followed by a moment of almost immediate acceptance. We're caught. We're done. Then you just started worrying about what was it going to be? A grounding? Who knows? Maybe they had fun on their trip. Maybe they'd be lenient. But after that moment of sheer terror, you were like, you looked around at the house and you knew it was so bad that it wasn't one or two things you could grab. There was so much shit. They knew what was happening. They're gonna get you, and you just had to kind of release yourself and go, hey, man, sorry, we had a party. That's what you're gonna have to tell your children. We had a party for 50 years. We did it on cheap credit. We did it by going all around, all over the world and doing things we should not have been doing. Bad things. We had a 50-year party. We bought homes and cars, and we mortgaged them, and we put them on credit cards, and we took out lines of credit. We took out big mortgages. We built big, beautiful cities and then stopped giving a shit about them. And we financed this with expansion, that was, financed by war and deceit and fraud. And then we also, did this on the backs of immigrants that we pay slave labor to. And we did a lot of bad things. And there were good things that came with that, sure. But we've had a party. We had a big party. And the party was fun. And the music at the party was fun. And well, now the music's not too fun at the party anymore because nobody can sing anymore. You turn on the music and everybody's like, help me. And you go, this isn't that fun anymore. And you used to be able to turn on the TV at the party and see some fun stuff and chuckle and go, but you can't because you turn on the TV and it's Chelsea Handler going, you're white. So that's not fun anymore either. And the party itself is starting to feel not too fun anymore. But then there are people at the party that are going, we can keep the party going if you come into this room. And you go, what's in this room? And you go, well, there's a million words you can't say, and you can't look at each other, and you can't have any feelings, thoughts, or expressions. And here's a little chip, and we're putting it in your ass. And do you have coronavirus? And put on your mask, and don't speak. And if you have a business, you can't run it. Stand in the corner and look at the fucking floor. And there's other people that are going, well, we can keep the party going too, but you got to come in this room. And you go, what do you do in this room? We just jump around without the music, and if you say there is no music, we kill you. We just say the party's going and it's fun. And then you go, well, if I point out that the food sucks and there's no music, then we say, no, dummy, did you read Q? There isn't supposed to be music at this party. Music's the devil. And you go, what? What about food? And you go, you don't need any fucking food. Q provides you all the nutrition you need. And you go, so I have a choice between one or two of these rooms, or you could just sit in the living room and wait for the parents. And you know who the parents are going to be? President Xi and China. And when they open that fucking door and they say, we're here, you're going to say, Mommy and Daddy, I love you. I'm so fucking sorry. I could have went in one of these rooms with the crazy people, but I decided to sit here and stay here and wait for you. I'm so sorry. The kids from school brought people I didn't know, and they started drinking and smoking and throwing lamps, and they started buying houses and cars and going to war with other houses, and I didn't consent to any of that. I just listened to music. I was just trying to get my dick sucked in the closet. I'm trans, by the way. And then Mommy and Daddy, we didn't know. And then Mommy and Daddy are going to say something in Chinese, and then they're going to zap you, and you're going to fall to the floor, and they're going to give you a social credit score, and you're going to say, well, it is what it is, folks, because the party's fucking over.
There we go. All right, let's get over to Cratchit. Come on, let's do it.
Yep. The biggest mic I've ever seen.
You don't want to do any phone calls?
No, we don't got time. We have to get to the news. We'll do extended phone calls next time.
You say that a lot.
I do. And I mean it most of the time.
Oops. Let me see. I'm not even prepared for any of this stuff. I don't know what's going on.
You understand this better than anybody does.
Oh, let's see. So credit to, we're going to start. Nope. We'll go back one more here. Yeah, we'll start with that one. Credit to RS Harmful for digging this one up. We do focus a lot on what's going on in food services and fast food and other sorts of weird marketing tricks. We also look at weird jobs. So if you want a weird job in fast food,
I do.
Here you go.
All right. I guess this is great news for people that are looking for work.
So I'll put this is a Twitter post announcing it. Oddly enough, they didn't actually link to the actual site. I'll put that in Carrot Shop as well.
Yes, Wendy's is hiring a chief tasting officer that pays $100,000.
That's some good news on that front.
Is it just a flat fee, or is it that like a salary? We'll find out. Okay. So here, chief tasting officer title. That's exactly what it is. And paid $100,000. Job term, dream. Location, remote. Travel light. Start ASAP. Required credentials, human mouth, a pulse, opinions, creativity, and taste. I can fulfill at least 2 of those. Let's see here. And then if we want to apply, and I don't see why we wouldn't. Let's see here.
By the way, this whole job page here was written by AI and not proofread.
Is this real? Yes, this is real. Do you hate your job? Are you too iconic to be opening PDFs for your boss? Have you ever been told you're a personality hire? Do you care more about bacon than bottom lines? Are you more about JBC than KPI? Well, then you're in luck. Wendy's is hiring a chief tasting officer. This may help bring the vibes, taste, and creativity to a company in ways no one else can. Basically, you'll be getting paid to eat Wendy's, be chill, maybe make some content, and even be a star in ads, whether it's quarterly vlog check-ins, taste trending, or whatever. You'll make cheddar just for liking cheddar. This is totally AI. You're right, Cratchit. This has got AI vibes all over it. And it has a picture of people jumping up and down, throwing money in the air, making it rain.
So basically, it sounds like this is technically a remote job because you can be anywhere as long as you're within easy access to a Wendy's, and they're going to send you certain things, and you have to go basically be a secret shopper, I guess.
But somebody better give me some money!
Let's see here. A job AI can't steal because no mouth, $100,000. Yes, but it doesn't say if it's annual or what. If this is a flat fee, doesn't say.
I'm sure that's how they've written it out in their personnel budget for
a Wendy's approved amount of chaos controlled, but still chaos. Career advancement in bite leadership and sauce alignment. Oh, jeez.
What'd you do?
What you'll need: a functioning palate and the courage to use it. I don't know, because I don't like it. I'm a very picky eater. I don't know if I could eat everything on the Wendy's menu, although the Frosties are delightful.
Yeah, but what if the job is things like, hey, Mike, go eat 6 Frosties today?
Oh, geez, okay.
Let's do it.
And then the next day, Mike, go eat 6 more Frosties.
Let's do it.
You could probably guarantee people are going to quit this job before making it a full year.
Ability to describe flavor beyond its fire, but can still say it's fire. I can do that. I think I'm pretty articulate with what I'm tasting. Comfortable being on camera without doing the "What's up, guys" voice, unless it's funny.
Isn't that exactly what they're going to want, though? They want you to be an influencer.
I could be comfortable on camera. I'm not good in front of crowds, but I'm good on camera. So as long as I don't got to be in front of a crowd, I'll be good. I just like people watching me.
By the way, to your question, so I'm digging through the actual rules here, the legal documents, which is not branded as Wendy's. This comes directly from a law firm. It says receiving a salary equal to $100,000. Equal to. I hope that means they only pay you on Wendy's gift cards. But,
oh my God! Equal to, yes.
Yeah, but it says receiving a salary equal to $100,000 conditioned upon making a specified number of videos and posts and other deliverables as set forth in your contract.
I love it.
Can I also talk about Israel in these posts? 2 for the price of 1. You know, can I cross post? You know, I still want to maintain OBDM. Guess I couldn't talk about bacon then, but
entirely on bacon.
Yeah. I want to apply. Hopefully, they don't do too thorough of a background check, but I would say we should all apply. And they can't kill us all, right? So I say every one of us should apply, and hopefully one of us will get the money.
So this says you can enter on Instagram, TikTok, or directly via the website. It does note here, entries that feature Wendy's products, logos, stores, or branding will receive 5 additional points on top of their judge score as described below.
Okay.
So they really want you to lean into the Wendy's branding.
I'm just going to be honest with them. It's like, listen, I don't eat Wendy's a lot, but when I do eat it, I typically enjoy it. And I would definitely, if I got the job, I definitely would eat it more. I got a Wendy's right around the corner from me. For Christ's sake, I'm in Ohio. I live next to a truck stop, basically. And I'll go over there. I'll talk about the deals. I'll talk about what the truckers are eating. And Wendy's is America. And there's nothing more American than truck drivers and truck stops and things like that.
Your entry must not include any representation of celebrities, athletes, musicians, or any other public or private figure, include any antisocial, political, religious, or commercial solicitation or promotional materials, and your entry must not include any other persons or companies' full names, addresses, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think you can talk about Israel.
Can't do, not the first post, at least. You got to see.
Not until you're hired.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, this is... I like it. I like the idea. I'd be curious to see who they do hire, and it wouldn't be bad to have an extra $100,000. That would definitely help. That would definitely help anybody out.
If anyone's interested, you can go to wendyschieftastingofficer.com, and there's all the rules and all that stuff. To your question, I'm willing to bet they hire an established existing food blogger, influencer person who already does this stuff, and they're just going to add it to their brand.
That is a gay hookup site.
It
Careful,
could be.
don't go there.
It could be. Ain't nothing wrong
I think it would
with
be
that.
great to see someone do every one of these from the bathroom, just like you're sitting on the can while you're reviewing.
I'm just getting ready.
Food. Yeah, she's like, look, it's gonna go right through me anyway, so I'm just ready.
It's an angle. It'd be a unique angle, and it's not something other people would probably dare to do. Everyone's going to try to be corporate and friendly about it. You want something that captures the attention. There's so much noise out there on social media. So what are you going to do to really separate yourself? Exactly, you got to separate yourself in some way.
Do you remember during the bad old days of COVID, when everyone had their work from home setups, and most of which were much like Joe is doing now? He's in his house, he's in his living room. Sort of thing. You can see so people didn't want that. They'd put all sorts of goofy backgrounds behind them. They're on a roller coaster, they're on a beach, they're in space, all of that stuff. I worked with a guy, and he had a photo of his office as his background, and it was so well done you couldn't tell if he was in his office or not. So you weren't really sure, wait, is he actually in his office or is he working from home? I don't know. We then replaced it. The whole thing about fixing his laptop and stuff, we had replaced it with a photo of the stall in the men's room, and he didn't realize it for apparently the first meeting he was on. And so the photo background was him in the stall in the men's room.
Oh, my God.
So it wasn't as good as his office photo, but it was. So I think there's precedent there to
Put
to
it
do
behind the toilet.
To do your Wendy's submission from your turlet.
I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay, well, I do like
in
this.
my bathroom. There's a big bottle of Wendy's. Can someone go in there and get that for me? What is going on with his voice anyway?
He must have blown out his vocal cords. He had to have. I mean, listen to this.
Have you seen the movie Pinocchio?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Maybe that. I don't know if I made up.
All right, we'll move on. Here we go.
We're at war with the goyim.
All right. I mentioned some airline news last time. I travel a lot, so this is something of interest to me, and thought I would like to share with others. I did get some positive feedback from people about the airlines and airports asking people to not dress like slobs.
Yes. Very controversial.
It's not controversial unless you're a slob, but stop wearing your pajamas and carrying your teddy bears through the airport. Well, here's a specific airline who is now going after people who are just being general nuisances. Most directly here is the folks who have to watch whatever crappy movie they've got on their iPad without headphones. And so you all get to enjoy this garbage.
Oh, geez. Yeah, United Airlines can now kick passengers off flights and ban them for not using headphones.
Oh, really?
This is common sense. This is common courtesy. This is proper travel etiquette. And I've experienced this. I'm sure you have, Cratchit. You travel a lot where people are just watching on their Kindle or iPad and they're watching a movie and it's disrupting my experience. So yeah, kick them off. Get out of here.
Well, and I've been on a number of flights, and if you haven't yet, if you've been on a number of flights that have the Starlink for internet, because previously the satellite-based internet was, yes, you could get messages, and yes, you could, maybe do some emails and things, but it was really difficult to do anything of substance. With the Starlink internet connections on these planes, I'm seriously getting 300-400 megabits a second on these. Very high speed, very low latency. So it's just like you can do whatever you want as far as work. But that means people are going to fire up their Zoom calls, their Teams calls. They're going to call grandma to say their flight's late or whatever. And everyone gets to hear it, and it's annoying as crap.
United Airlines has introduced a new rule that could see passengers removed from flights if they refuse to use headphones while playing audio on personal devices. Yeah, get them out of here.
F you, son of a bitch. Get out of here.
The airline quietly updated its contract of carriage in 2026, adding the requirement under its refusal of transport section, the same policy area that outlines behaviors that can get passengers denied boarding or kicked off flights. Under the new wording, passengers who play audio or video content without headphones may be removed from the aircraft or even banned from flying with the airline in the future. I suspect there's got to be some warnings, like got to give them 1 or 2 warnings for this, but I get it. The rule targets a common in-flight annoyance: travelers blasting music, videos, or social media clips from their cell phones and tablets without headphones. United says the policy is meant to improve cabin comfort and reduce disruptive behavior. Oh, I hate to be like this, but is this going to turn racial at any point?
Can't say that.
Like, if you implement this policy, is it going to be considered racist? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just saying you often see a lot of videos of airline passengers, let's just say, being disruptive and disturbing. I won't say you don't want to go notice whom that might be in every single video.
Yeah, well, while airlines have long encouraged passengers to use headphones as a courtesy, United update made it legally enforceable rule. The policy change gives crew members explicit authority to take action if someone ignores requests to turn off loud audio. Okay, so now they have they got the means. All right, they have the legal authority to do so now. Well, I mean, they just updated their contract, so I guess.
Yeah, because everyone reads that when you buy an airplane.
Yeah, what legal authority? I guess maybe it prevents them from being sued, or you have company liability for this.
It's this weird contract of carriage is this weird agreement between the federal government in most cases. I mean, involves local municipalities at an airport, which is then operated by a private or public organization, then contracted to the FAA, but then you have private contractors operating the planes, but on behalf of the federal government, so they have all these rules and regulations, and as part of that, they're basically saying, don't be a schmuck on the plane, and if you do, we'll boot you off, and you have no recompense for that. And now they're saying, as part of that, if you are loud and disruptive because you don't believe in headphones, and we all get to share your tickety talks and Instagrams, you get off the plane.
Well, in 2003, Tiffany Gomez went viral as the infamous not real plane woman, where she accused other passengers of not being real. Well, they had nothing to do with headphones. Why'd they throw that in here? They had nothing to do with listening to something without headphones.
Well, I think the example there is that she was being disruptive and was removed from the flight.
Oh, okay. Well, then last year, there's a flight from Edinburgh to Spain, and it was delayed 2 hours after a 21-year-old passenger was caught vaping in an aircraft bathroom, setting off smoke alarms and prompting a full police response. Okay, so we're just seeing disruptive, general disrespect for airline etiquette. And okay, a bunch of selfish people out there. I get it. We get it. We understand now.
By the way, this took a little bit longer than the story we were on, but there's your Wendy's chief tasting officer.
Okay, he's in a stall, which does look like a bathroom airport stall, eating Wendy's. He's got the nuggets, he's got the fries, he's got the big. He doesn't have a Frosty though, but that's all right. He can go back and get one later. That always happens. You go through a drive-thru at Wendy's.
A Frosty for the drive home.
Yeah, it's like you always do that. It's like you pull up to the window. He's like, I'm not going to get a Frosty. And then as soon as you leave, you're like, hell with it. I'm going back in line. I'm getting a Frosty. Always happens to me.
Didn't they used to have or maybe it was McDonald's or Taco Bell or something. They had a card that gave you an unlimited number of shakes or fries or something like that.
I don't remember that. That sounds like a good deal.
Yes.
We got to get another story, Cratchit. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not making this up. Wendy's Frosty key tag unlocks a free Frosties for 1 year. You get one Frosty every day with your purchase.
Wow. One Frosty every day with a purchase?
$3 for this key tag thing, and it's you get a free Junior Frosty with any purchase every time you visit Wendy's.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So you too can inevitably suffer from ice cold diarrhea from eating nothing but Frosties.
Yeah. It sounds like a pretty good deal.
All right, let's see here. So here's a clever use. So we're seeing a lot of folks leveraging technology, and there's a local news story with this. I have vetted it is about this story. So you're going to want to run that local news story. But a lot of people using technology in interesting and unique ways. Mm-hmm. We now have AI-powered applications on our phones that can do almost real-time language translation. And so here's a crook who determined there was a language barrier, but he was able to leverage his phone to help him try to pull off a robbery.
He's thinking. Mm-hmm. You don't have to rob. You can rob anybody regardless of language.
That's right. Language barrier, no exception. You can just rob people left and right.
This is fantastic. Yeah, here it is. Police, a man uses Google Translate to announce robbery of Newark restaurant. I'm guessing this is New Jersey. We're going to find out
that's where Newark is, so yes.
Yeah, we're just, people geographically challenged.
An odd attempted robbery in Newark last month. Wait till you hear this. News 12 New Jersey's Christine Quayle tells us the suspect used Google Translate to announce his intentions.
The employees at El Rinconcito Ecuatoriano in Newark's Ironbound district are shaken up. It's only been about 2 weeks since someone attempted to rob the restaurant. A man came to buy a coffee and he bought a coffee and then he wanted to keep the money. And when she told him to take it, he didn't take it and got angry. He threw the coffee at her and then he threw a vase that was on the table at her. Owner Maria says the ordeal was frightening, but many might also consider it somewhat out of the ordinary. The Newark Police Department says that the suspect actually used Google Translate to announce his intention to rob the restaurant and that he threatened to shoot the cashier as well, which sounded something like this.
Dame todo el dinero de la caja registradora, esto es un robo.
Newark's Ironbound district is known for its Hispanic population, so the suspect likely assumed none of the employees spoke English. The gentleman does not speak Spanish. He only speaks English. However, Maria tells News 12 her cashier did speak English. When she ran away from the suspect, police say he attempted to remove the register, but failed and ran away. We are left with fear because there are times we cannot be here, like we think it can happen again. This is a surveillance photo of the suspect. He's described as being a black man wearing all black clothing and having a black face mask.
Jeez.
In Newark, Christine Quayle,
quiero un burrito.
Anyone with information about the identity of that person is asked to reach out to Newark Police.
Oh my God!
I saw a funny video.
Points for for being clever there and credit for trying, but didn't quite work out.
I guess maybe it was like a soft target for him. He's already robbed people that speak English in his neighborhood, and the next neighborhood over is mostly, Spanish, Mexican dominated. So he's like, the hell with it. I got this great device in my pocket. I can rob anybody I want to.
Hola, mi amigo.
I would like to see someone create a commercial of advertising this feature on your Android phone. The Google AI Translate can also now expand your business into new markets.
Of course.
No hablar or hablamos. I don't know how to speak Spanish.
How many clips do you have of Tim Pool trying to speak Spanish?
Quite a few.
I saw a funny video.
All right. I think we have time for one more story. Let's do it.
All right.
Hey, yo.
Well, let me give you guys a choice. I've got another airport story. Maybe save that one later about people just being generally bad behavior at airports.
Yeah.
We have the Girl Scouts. It's spring, which means it's time for Girl Scout cookies. And here's a Girl Scout troop who had a very successful but frowned upon method of selling cookies.
Okay, I'm interested right away because I try not to buy Girl Scout cookies, but I wind up buying at least 2 boxes every year and devouring those Thin Mints.
You don't have, niece or somebody come up and demanding that you purchase?
My nieces.
Usually that's how I get guilty.
Yeah, I do. I got quite a few.
Family or friends. You got the neighbor kids coming over, and it's all right, fine. And then you got 27 boxes of Thin Mints.
Yeah, I do. And I will buy them and eat them all.
I have to do it.
Right in front of them.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to eat them all right now. Get it out of the way.
These are already paid for, right?
I'm a sucker.
So anyway, this was a really good, very clever plan. They tried it a few years ago, wasn't approved. It got approved this year. They did it, very successful. People are now raising eyebrows.
Another New Jersey. There is a story attached to this. Oh yeah, there is a Girl Scout cookie warehouse. There's like a video attached to this. We'll see.
I don't think that's. No. Hold on, I'm getting commercials. I don't know. I didn't vet this one. Don't know.
We're gonna try. Let me know.
Former Girl Scout. I love this next story. Fox 13's Heather Healy is at a local warehouse where some of your cookies.
No, it's unrelated.
Okay, unrelated. Oh, great.
You got tricked.
I did. They fooled me, Jerry. But here is the headline here. Girl Scouts highly unimpressed after New Jersey troops teams up with local cannabis dispensary to sell cookies.
Pretty good, huh?
I think it's ingenious.
The headline's a little misleading. What they mean is the Girl Scouts organization is highly unimpressed after this single troop teamed up with a local cannabis dispensary.
I think this is ingenious. Senior leaders at the Girl Scouts are reportedly displeased that the New Jersey troop teamed up with a local weed dispensary to sell their beloved cookies. Set up near the Daylight Dispensary in Mount Laurel last month, the troops booth offered a full lineup of treats. Dispensary owner Steve Cassidy said the partnership was a massive success and drew people both to the booth and to the cannabis shop. Yes.
Okay.
This is win-win for everybody.
This is synergy. This is what we want. 2 opposing businesses you didn't think would really work together. It works out. It's great. However, Cassidy said that he had spoken to representatives from the organization about the incident, which had been intended as a positive venture, but may have landed the troop in hot water. Quote, it was about community, Cassidy told the Independent. If that means a Girl Scout troop got in trouble, that is absolutely not what we wanted. He declined to comment further. Of course, you don't want to get these kids in trouble. You thought it was a win-win situation. The Independent has contacted the Girl Scouts of Central and Southern New Jersey, the Girl Scout Council that oversees the troop in the region for comment. It is unclear which exact troop staged the event. Let's look for the ones that are a little high.
Well, and I'm pretty sure if you scroll down about 3 inches, you can tell exactly which troop it was.
It's troop 20201.
It's unclear. Don't know. I'm not sure who it was.
Daylight Dispensary in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, was the township's first dispensary when it opened back in 2023. The idea to partner with the local Girl Scout troop came when Cassidy linked the food with the munchies, or an increase in appetite caused by certain types of cannabis.
And no one's ever thought of that before. This guy invented that.
He a light bulb went off over his head. He's like, I can't believe no one's thought of this before. Quote, you use cannabis, you get the munchies, Cassidy told NJ.com. There's a connection between snacks and cannabis, and the fact that we don't have to pretend that doesn't exist anymore is really awesome. I don't think anybody was denying that. I just think, don't you sell snacks at your shop? And if you don't, why not?
I think the reporter on this should have really hammered that guy on this concept of the munchies and just made him go round and round and round about it.
Yeah, like, it sounds like you have some evidence to support this. Quote, I don't think 5 years ago we would have seen anything like this, he said. I hope that it's a sign of things to come, where there's more of this normalcy and shared opportunities. I guess he's looking to synergize with other businesses in the area too.
Someone's gonna pick up on this, and if the Girl Scouts organization doesn't like them selling cookies outside or any dispensaries, someone's gonna fill that gap.
Yes, like a cookie company will just jump in there and start partnering with these local weed dispensaries.
If I lived in South Central New Jersey and I had a food truck, I'd park that shit right there.
It's a perfect opportunity. Due to the success of the original selling date, the troop was supposed to return to sell at daylight again on Friday, but no booth is currently scheduled for that location at this time. This year's Girl Scout cookie sales included a brand new cookie flavor, Explore-a-Mores.
Explore. I guess it's like a s'more.
I guess so. Inspired by Rocky Road ice cream, Explore-a-Mores are a chocolate sandwich cookie with marshmallow and toasted almond flavored creme.
It's just pronounced cream.
Oh, okay. The organization the organization said in a press release that the cookies reflect the spirit and exploration at the heart of every Girl Scout. The new cookies joined a lineup that included Adventurefuls, caramel chocolate chip, Salmons, caramel delights,
Samoas,
Doosey Doos, peanut butter, lemon ups, tagalongs, peanut butter patties, thin mints, toffee tastic, and the classic truffles. Girl Scout cookies will remain on sale through April,
but not at this dispensary.
No, they're not. I think they got cut out. What a missed opportunity for the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts.
Somebody who has a food truck that focuses on like cookies or something, just roll that right up there and make bank.
Yeah. Like if you're at this point, just the Girl Scouts, I get it. It's a brandy thing. They don't want to be associated, but there's other cookie companies out there that really want to get off the ground. Partner up. Split the profits. It's great.
By the way, in the chat and Rumble, Rex57 says he's been to that dispensary.
Oh, yeah?
And in Twitch, Zeister says his sister-in-law lives there. I'm assuming in that town in New Jersey, not at that dispensary.
I don't want a kidnapper. I just want weed.
Yeah.
Can I just have some weed? I just want some weed and a hamburger.
We can get those at this dispensary, probably. At least the cookies, not the hamburger. Well, thank you, everyone, for hanging out on this Saturday show. We'll be back on Wednesday for another good time. I can assure you of that.
We're going to need a lot of margaritas to get through this.
Yes. Well, we did. We made it through this. I think I'm going to go for a walk. It's a nice day out there. Walk the dog. I'm sure Joe's going to go out walking or running.
Possibly running.
Okay.
Today was a cycling day.
No, really?
What's the temperature there, by the way?
It's like 55, 60.
Okay.
It's pretty
livable.
good. But it's getting back down to the 20s here very soon. So I'm not happy about that. But that's the way it is here in Ohio.
Yeah, no thank you.
Until that time, go to obdmpod.com and click the Patreon button to support the show for at least $1 a month and $3 a month or whatever you want after that. Like I said, if you want some a chance to get shipped a bunch of books, be on the lookout. I'll post up in the Patreon, in the Discord, and we'll work that out.
Can they just go to the website, obdmchieftastingofficer.com?
Correct. They can go there. They can go there.
This is all wrong.
Are you paying shipping?
Oh, yeah.
Are they paying shipping?
I'm paying shipping. It's all being paid. I'm shipping paid. They just got to want the books, and we'll send them.
By the way, just free tip, if you are sending a bunch of heavy books and CDs and stuff like that, there's a USPS does a thing called, I believe it's called Media Mail. It's much slower, but way lower cost if you're just mailing stuff like that out, big bulky items. So
good to know.
I think that's what it's called.
Well, thank you, Cratchit. Thank you, Joe. Shablagoo, everyone.
Oh, he's on mute. Come on.
Chicaba.
And keep watching the skis because people ain't wearing their headphones anymore.
Throw it out.
Size matters.
Look at your child. Talk about being deprived. Buy a shotgun. Two blasts. There's a backbone like a ramrod.
Two sides of the same coin.
Come on, give me a break. Give me a break.
Sweet potato poon.
That's about all.
Shablagoo. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
F you, son of a bitch. Get out of here.
Chimichanga, I don't wanna chimichanga. You know what I mean? Chimichanga, I don't wanna chimichanga. You know what I mean? What you gonna do when it starts raining? Big chalupa, big chalupa. What you gonna do when it starts raining? Big chalupa.